It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello and welcome to episode 40 of The Ravager Report. I am your host, Dorian, and with me, as always, is the humorous Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. Wanted to thank everybody for joining us live, and if that's something that you would like to do, you can come join our Discord server at discord.me/Ravager Report, or you can hit me or Hebrew up on Discord. My name is Dorian Blade, #6090, and Hebrew is, actually that's the one thing I didn't write down, Hebrew Hammer XVI #3885. And we can get you set up. And Hebrew, you know we're now both going to get horribly spammed.
Yep.
We're going to get horribly
1,000
spammed.
people are going to yell at me, telling me that they hate me.
Hey,
It's going to be a lot of fun.
or they're going to be telling you that they hate me. So, you know.
That's already happened. I can't help that.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Before we begin, I want to give a great big shout out to Brady for joining our executive level program. Thank you, Brady. Really appreciate it. And if you like the show, you can do so and help support us at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we have upgraded our tiers and tried to add some extra value now. So at the $2 tier, you are going to get early show notes, which I'm working on getting out by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. The $5 tier will give you early uncut episodes. And the $10 tier will get you a 30-minute Skype roster review. And then our executive level gets to sponsor one show segment per month. And, of course, all the tiers stack. So, you know, the executives get what the super agents get, which get what the rookies get, which get what the agents and trainings get. That's right. We went with a S.H.I.E.L.D.-style patron naming system. But yeah, so the $20 level will get you can sponsor a show segment per month where Hebrew and I will basically take 20 minutes talking about really whatever it is you want to talk about. MSF
Are there any limitations on that?
Huh?
Are there any limitations
I mean, we
on
keep
that?
it clean. That's really the only limitation. You know better on that one.
Yeah.
But one thing we did this week is we sent out in our survey, we kind of asked for listener feedback and wanted to know what you guys thought. And please feel free to come to our Discord and leave us comments on the show and let us know what you like, what you don't like. And one of the things that people have mentioned, the biggest thing people have mentioned, Hebrew, is you and I have a horrible tendency to get sidetracked.
Yes.
And so
we now statistically know that we are terrible at staying on track.
Yes. So what we've done is, the show notes now have like the amount of time we want to try to take per segment. And I actually have a timer here next to me on my phone that's going to run during the show. So I know when we're getting close and it's time to, we got to move on. So we're going to try to keep things a little bit tighter, a little bit more, entertaining as well. So,
mm-hmm.
We're
basically being treated like toddlers now is how it's working.
Honestly, man, we kind of need it. I mean,
we do.
We kind of need it. So
I forgot what it was the other day, but I remember sitting there thinking back during the editing, and I was like, how did we get here?
Well, so the problem last week, obviously, and I warned people up front, right? I don't feel super bad because I did warn everybody up front that, hey, there was no prep. It's a holiday week. There's no dev blog. Yeah. There's really not much going on. This is going to be a shooting the shit, rambling type of show. So
those are my favorite ones. Yeah.
But, we shouldn't be doing that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's no need for that. So we are definitely going to, we're tightening the ship up for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it. And again, come join us on our Discord at discord.me/Ravager Report, and you can get into our, you can message Hebrew or myself directly and let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you think we should change. We are open to all manner of criticism and feedback as long as it's constructive. By the way, guys, I'm sorry. Rosewatch isn't going anywhere. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
So, Hebrew, I'm starting the timer. What did you do this past week?
I'm going to keep mine pretty short and sweet. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so that was really fun. I'm probably I have a nasty habit with RPGs of trying to do everything. So I've played probably 10, 12 hours worth, and I feel like I'm barely into it at all. There was one part especially where I finally took off from the main area, and then it was it announced the title of the game, and I was like, oh my god, I've been playing for 5-6 hours, and I just now got to that part.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, great game, having a lot of fun with that. Other than that, been messing around on some new mobile games, still playing AFK Arena as well. So that's been a lot of fun. Joined in on a different alliance than the one that automatically put me in for this game. Still a very casual alliance, but I mean everyone is top level and we're doing Gamma 4 in it and everything. So that's been interesting. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it for the most part. Yeah. Oh, I also saw yesterday the Beatles movie, which was also really good too. That's about
really
it.
we'd heard. So my daughter wanted to see it. And I'm a huge Beatles fan. Okay, I mean a huge Beatles fan. If you have Amazon Prime, you get Amazon Music, which means that you get all the Beatles albums. Just letting you know. So
really,
yes,
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
okay,
yes,
interesting.
Amazon, I expect a plug now. So I expect
yeah.
something.
Pay us,
here.
Amazon. Yeah, that'll work.
But we wanted to see that because I love the Beatles, but we'd heard that it got really bad reviews. So, and
I don't think
I'll be honest with you, man. After the conversation we had earlier today, I don't know.
I mean, that one's just something I'm not going to put forward the time to see if that's real or not. Our conversation earlier to change my mind. It will stay that way forever in my mind, and I'm not changing it.
That's because you're afraid it's going to be changed.
Yes. By the way, we're talking about Batman and George Clooney, something we talked about a long time ago. And I say that George Clooney is my favorite Batman. Not the movie, but George Clooney. And I don't want to watch it because it was probably a year or so after it came out. I don't want to watch it again because I don't want to ruin that memory in my mind of him. And also my dad looks very, very similar. So there's a lot of nostalgia built into that, and I don't want to ruin it. So George Clooney is my favorite Batman, followed by Christian Bale, who actually has good movies as Batman.
I say Christian Bale flat out number one, followed by Michael Keaton. So, and obviously Heath Ledger was actually I think that Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson did different styles of Joker, and both
Heath
were
Ledger
fantastic.
was the best one, hands down.
Heath Ledger is amazing. What a loss.
Yeah.
But sidetracking.
Let me just say one more thing. I rate my Batmans how I rate my James Bonds, and it has to be, to me, realistic. I have to believe that this person has the suave and the ruggedness to be able to throw down and do the things that he does. And George Clooney makes me think that he does.
Oof.
So.
Okay.
So, Roger Moore, for instance, is not rated as high as Sean Connery in my book because Sean Connery, I know, could do those things. He's rugged and suave.
Yeah, but
same thing.
They still know Daniel Craig.
I'd still say Sean Connery is above Daniel Craig, but not by much. Daniel Craig is
really.
amazing.
I would say they're really, really close, but so
I'm a huge Bond fan, but I maybe it's nostalgia for the old style of James Bond because it's definitely not quite the same anymore.
I do want. I wasn't a huge fan of the last one, but man, this is not a movie podcast.
I hated the last one actually, but yeah.
Yeah, the opening was really cool. They do some really good stuff during the opening stunt scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. So
yeah,
I do want to
interesting little factoid.
There's a 50. Well, real quick, there's a 50 movie anniversary pack you can get that has all the movies in it. So,
yeah, I know. Yeah, the also interesting little factoid for anyone that wants to know. Roger Moore was actually supposed to be the one casted originally as Bond. That's what the directors wanted, but he turned it down because he didn't think it would be successful. It fell onto Sean Connery. He found it and took it up, and then they got Roger Moore after Sean Connery no longer wanted to.
That's not entirely true. There was one bond between Sean Connery and Roger Moore in Her Majesty's Secret Service. He only did the one movie. I forget his name.
I'm forgetting it. George Lazenby, but
yes,
I believe he came. I believe he came after Roger Moore.
He was between Connery and Moore. Because after Moore was Dalton.
Yeah, I know T. Dalt was after. I thought it was George Lazenby and then T. Dalt.
No. Because Moore did it into the 80s.
You know what?
Lazenby was much earlier than that. Lazenby was in the late 60s,
actually,
early
come
70s.
to think of it. Because, they were trying to replace Sean Connery, and it was a tough find. And I saw the documentary on George Lazenby as Bond, and it was pretty awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. Fast forward. So, anyway.
Oh, I loved that documentary, but yeah, it was graphic at parts.
It was extremely graphic. So, anyway, I think we've sidetracked. That's our sidetrack for the show.
But either way, that thing's still right. They did want Roger Moore originally.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
So, was that your week?
Oh, that is my week. So much for keeping it short and sweet.
Okay. So for me, in game, I already talked a little bit before the show about my week. Not gonna rehash it. It's been a rough few weeks for me. But in game, it's actually been kind of exciting because I cut out AFK Arena. I wasn't happy with. Wait, what do you mean? What? I told you this.
Playing AFK Arena?
Yeah, I told you this.
Oh, wow, I did not know that.
Okay, good to know you don't pay attention to Discord. So I left the server.
Sometimes you send me
transferred
barrages of texts. So I don't know.
I get bored at work. I get bored and I need somebody to talk to, okay? But I transferred the server over to Muggin. I've left the guild. I left the server. Oh, yeah.
Wait, Swugger or AFK Arena?
AFK Arena.
I think you maybe mistold me in that because I think you said Swugger in the messages.
Oh, no,
I was surprised.
I'm pretty sure I said AFK Arena because I wasn't happy with the new character. I didn't like where it was going and some of my past issues. I didn't like where it was kind of leading me down. So it was a completely personal choice. The game is great. I love it. I highly recommend it for anybody that is looking for a good idle game to play. So it's just. I couldn't do it anymore. So I have picked up. I picked back up Contest of Champions. So I'm kind of getting back into that. I'm really enjoying it though. So I've been following Seaton a little bit on like who to work on and who to rank up. I got a couple of 4-star champions, a bunch of 3 stars. I got some Awakened 2 stars already. So definitely enjoying kind of what's going on there. And it's a little sad because it's a cash scam game. So I'm not a huge fan of them because of what they did to my Hobbit game way back in the day. So it's but I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see what happens. Maybe in a week I quit. I don't know. I did spend my Marvel Insider points on it though to get a 3-star Mysterio and an Ultimate Crystal bundle. So,
Yeah, it's definitely fun, but it loses my interest quickly because it's very repetitive to me.
That's fair. I can see that.
Yeah.
I've heard it gets better as you progress into the events. The fights get a lot harder, and it does become more of a skill-based game, which is kind of enjoyable.
And maybe that is better, like because it definitely feels devoid of skill right now, and I'm sure that probably isn't the case at a very high level.
Yeah. So, but in this game, MSF, I am now one character away from getting into Fear the Darkness. I got Shield Security to Gear 13 this week. So I now have Security, Fury, Rocket, and JJ all at Gear 13. Mm-hmm. And I have 2 characters waiting to get to Gear 13. Star-Lord is 10 spiky balls away from Gear 13, so I'll have him in a few days because we're in a war right now. So, no, that won't work. I won't get enough. I need 1,700 war credits, but he'll be very, very close. But Groot is the other one, and I got all the orange pieces on Groot. He's only 2 purple pieces away from getting into Fear the Darkness. Mm-hmm. So I'll have him inside of a week because I'll grind the heck out of that purple gear.
Right.
So I plan on getting in very, very soon. So I'll be going in with JJ, Rocket, Fury, Shield Security, and either Star-Lord or Groot. And while I continue working on Minerva, I'm still working on Minerva. I don't have all the gamma radiation, which is why she's not got a higher priority than Star-Lord for the spiky balls. So, but I may swap out JJ for Groot and then run Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Fury, and Shield Security. I've heard that's a good combo if you don't have Minerva. So that is my plan. So, all right. That is this week. And hey, we only went like a minute over.
That's not so bad.
No, I gave us 10 minutes for that section.
Yeah. I mean, are we like super narcissistic? Is that why we take so long on this segment?
No. It's funny. One of the things that you and I got feedback on, let me start the next segment here. One of the things you and I got feedback on was we don't have good chemistry. And I'm like, I don't see that because you and I have.
To be fair, that was one person that said that versus like 20 other people that said that.
Well, okay, that's fair. Read through. I think there were more that talked about the chemistry.
I only saw one. I went through, and I think I went through all of it, unless I just missed it.
I thought there was more, but I think it's not that we're narcissistic, though. As content creators, that's kind of natural. It comes with the territory. But you and I, outside of this podcast, are friends, right? Yeah. And we actually enjoy talking to each other, even if we disagree on things,
which happens a lot.
Which is look, it's Dorian and the Millennial, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's disagreements. It's the dad and the rebellious son. Mm-hmm. So disagreements are going to happen. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But we enjoy talking to each other, and we're both very passionate about what we talk about, and we both are very set in our ways. So we kind of have very similar personalities in that one. The thing is that I have a tendency to get you get very stubborn and locked in, and I get more passionate about it. And
passionate is a good word for it.
So, one thing I missed, and we'll cover really, really quick, is Rose Watch 2019. So, because, people love it, people hate it. It is the most divisive segment on the show. And so the Roses have come back from that storm really, really, really well. I have not put any more 7 dust on them yet because you're only supposed to do it every couple of weeks. I think it's due tomorrow. But we are finding still bugs are eating on the roses, but they're immediately dying. So I imagine that's going to happen for a little while until the population dies out a bit. So there it is. They're going beautifully well. The spiral bushes. I'll post a picture later in chat. Maybe I'll make a new channel for Rose Watch, but. Because people have been sharing rose pictures with me, it's awesome. So, but I've got spiral bushes I planted, and they've taken really well. So, all well and good. So, Hebrew, if you're ready, let's get into the episode 40 listener survey, shall we?
Do it.
All right. So, guys, this week we kind of focused on a couple of areas in the game, and because I'm trying to get these. We are trying to get these out a little bit earlier in the week to get more responses. So they're sometimes a little behind, but we try to keep them relevant, and sometimes they stick with the news as well. So this week we're going to talk about the Gamma Raid. So first question on here was, what tier of the Gamma Raid are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, or my alliance is not doing the Gamma Raid at all. Our biggest response of all. So you're doing 4 now, right?
Doing 4, yeah.
Yeah. And 83 people. So we got 105 total responses, guys, which is great. Thank you very much. We'd like to see that number quadruple. But 83 of respondents for 79% are also doing 4. 3 and 2 were the only other responses here. So 15 people were doing 3 and 7 were doing 2. How are you finding the difficulty in the gamma raids? The options. How are you finding the difficulty? So is it pretty easy? It's okay until the boss nodes, or it's hard?
It's honestly, it's pretty easy, but it's more of like we don't get terribly far in it collectively because, we're all fairly casual.
Okay.
So, but I know that, the big bump comes at the boss nodes for the most part from my understanding. So,
well, it does.
And superficially, yeah, you can tell that happens.
Yeah, so we're getting to the second boss node. And I'm going the Avenger Kree route, which is really cool because my Kree team, I'm running Ronan, Oracle, Captain Marvel, Minerva, and Cyborg. Mm-hmm. That team does phenomenally well. So
yeah,
here we've got 83 people, 79% said it's okay until the boss nodes. 15 people said it was too hard, and then 7 people said it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
So, how far are you progressing in the gamma raid? I don't want to read off all the options here, but
for me, the 30 to the 59%.
You're the 30 to 59?
Yeah.
So, we are kind of we're kind of easily clearing 60.
Yeah.
Now, if people don't participate, obviously that we're struggling a little bit harder, but we're not pushing 100%. So, and that you're actually where a huge chunk of people are. They're in the 30 to 59% range. That was our biggest respondent with 47 people in the 30 to 59% range. 30 people were in the easily clearing 60, but not quite pushing 100.
Right.
20 were barely clearing 60. 2 were pushing 100. 4 were doing 100, and 2 were doing under 30. And I'm so sorry. I don't even know. If you're doing under 30, you need to drop down a tier. Or if you're helping carry your alliance, you need to find an alliance that's clearing 30. Because if you're not clearing 30, you're not getting rewards. That's just a very, very bad thing. Let's see. What do you think of the gamma raid orbs for you, Hebrew? Are they good, okay, bad, or don't have an opinion?
I mean, they suffice. They're not what they used to be, so they're not going to be great to me ever. But it's something, so it's not the worst.
So they're okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to quantify it, but
okay.
Yeah. Sure.
So see, for me as an in-game player, I'd like to think I'm an in-game player, right? But they're bad because I'm getting duplicates of Wolverine, right? I'm getting duplicates of Handblade Master, right? We're getting Brawler minion duplicates, and it's just so bad.
Yeah, I think for very competitive end-game players, I think you're right. I think that it's not. I don't think it's good. No,
and so and when we go to talk about the dev blog, because we did get a dev blog this week, we'll talk about the alpha raid coming back. I'm hoping this was a trial that they go, ooh, this did not go over very well, and we're not going to do this again. Let's hope. So 72 respondents also said they're bad. 29 said they were okay. 3 said no, don't have an opinion, and 1 said they're good. And you know what? If you're more of an early to mid-game player, they're fantastic because you're getting characters that are very hard to farm.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that we whenever we think of things in terms of reward, like we think about end game players, but we also do need to take into consideration general population, which is we're the tiny percentage compared to them. So
which is why I asked the next question here of what do you think of the gamma raid orbs for the community? Are they good, bad, okay, or don't have an opinion?
I once again put that they're okay.
You're okay?
Because I don't think that they're like I still can't deny that the way it was before was better because I think it was for specifically targeting new characters. I don't think you can beat that. So
right,
yeah, I think that they're just okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think they're okay. I mean, they're nothing spectacular. If they were more of the premier brawlers, both Marvels, Psylocke, the non easy to farm ones, Black Panther, who else?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you get my point. Psylocke. I think I said Psylocke. Did I say Psylocke? I may have said that twice. Sorry. Having those in that orb, would make it better than getting minions.
Yeah,
or Wolverine. I mean, Wolverine's just a sick joke. That's just Fox Next trolling everybody.
Yeah, it's not ideal. That's for sure.
42 people agreed, said they're okay. 51 people said they're bad. 6 said they don't have an opinion, and 6 said they're good. And I think it depends on where you're at in game, right? I think for early game they're great. They're good for you. If you're, but the problem is that if you're early game, you're not doing the higher tiers to get the better, to get a consistent supply of the orbs. So you're getting 2 a week maybe if you're lucky, and that you got to kind of scale it a bit. Of even though the orbs are good for more newer players aren't getting into this raid and getting the orbs that they need. So I'm actually sitting here going, I really think they're more bad than good bad. They're more towards the bad side than the okay side for the community, mainly because the majority of people that are going to be getting a majority of the orbs are more mid to late game to end game players.
Yeah, it would be nice actually if they did for tiers under this, like Gamma 3 and lower, if they did these orbs for those, and then for the 4th it would still be the specific orbs. That would actually be pretty nice.
Yeah, and that would actually be much closer to like how Galaxy of Heroes does it. And I know we hate drawing that comparison, but in Galaxy of Heroes, when you do the non-heroic raids, you're not getting the premier character for the raid. It's only when you do the premier, the heroic raid, are you actually going to be able to get the character.
Right.
And I actually prefer that method. I would rather see the Gamma, Alpha, Beta 1, 2, 3s be this is preparing you for the 4 raid. And then the 4 raid is this is what you're getting, right? So when we get the Alpha back, which is going to still be featuring Black Panther, I wouldn't want to see 1, 2, and 3 feeding Black Panther. I'd rather only see 4 Alpha 4 feeding Black Panther. But in-game players at this point, I mean, if you don't have a 6 or 7 star Black Panther, I mean, I don't know. So I think there are better ways they could do this that could benefit people, but I don't know. So I'm trying not to be negative, or bash Fox Next.
It's always hard to do. It's like you just kind of have to grit your teeth and say things.
It is. By the way, to the one person who mentioned something about the Irish accent. Do you mean the "How you doing"? You're welcome.
Yeah,
Hebrew.
We weren't sure where that one came from.
Yeah, I don't know either. I actually meant to kind of feed that into the "How you doing" Hebrew.
Yeah, I think that must be. I mean, please don't do it again. But I think that must be that, because I've never heard of an Irish accent before in here. So
right,
that's the only strange accent I've heard.
I could murder an Irish accent.
But I've heard you try other accents before, and it's
weird.
It's great because it's so terrible.
Right. It's funny that when I'm not like broadcasting on air, talking to other people, like I've recorded or been talking like my wife or whatever, and says they're good, right? Not great. I mean, they're not impersonation level, but they're good. But when I get like into the microphone, or I get talking to somebody live, and like the pressure to perform's on, I just it fails, probably because I haven't practiced enough.
So you crumble under pressure, basically.
Actually, no, I thrive under pressure, but for some reason,
not with
the impersonations, the accents, they just don't work under pressure. So, so let's move on to our next section of the survey here, where we asked about Rhino. So the first question was, how far are you on Rhino? Not unlocked, all the way up to 7 stars.
I believe I'm at three stars right now.
You have him at 3? Yeah, I think I've got him
Yeah.
at 3 as well. I think I'm pushing 4.
Yeah, I haven't had as good of luck as you then, but yeah, I got him at 3.
Yeah, and so did a majority of the respondents here. So 49 people also have him at 3-star. 28 have him at 2-star. 19 people have him at 4-star. 4 people have it at 5. 3 at 6. And 2 are not unlocked. I'm sorry, guys. That's either you're just not even trying, or you're getting some really bad luck. And that can unfortunately happen in the system.
Yeah, at least I didn't get it this time.
So the next question is: are you spending core or coring to get Rhino? Yes or no?
I think I did like once or twice on the course, not spending.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
Just when I was close to an orb and got impatient.
Right. I could see that. And so somebody actually sent a reply saying, why was there a third option of you did start and look, I could spend all day putting all the different types of options here. If you started spending and then stopped after a couple of times, you're not spending. So
Yeah.
like you, I would say, are not spending. You may do it every once in a while, but you're not going out intentionally trying to do it.
What?
Spend. Core.
You're talking about coring. Okay.
Yeah. Spending, buying cores.
I just consider spending as, potentially buying packs or buying cores. And then there's coring, which is just using your cores.
Which, right.
In my
which
mind,
you
there's
can
a
buy
difference.
cores to spend cores.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is semantic, I suppose. But yeah, it's just one is spending to buy it, and then others are just saving up your cores to use later. But yeah, I don't consider that coring out for them. It's just doing it like once or twice or so. Yeah.
And a majority of people have said no. 66 people said no, and 39 said yes. What do you think of the civil disorder orb? Good, bad, okay, or don't have an opinion?
Not very good.
Okay. I was torn on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's bad compared to what we used to get.
Right. That's
what I mean. But when I look at what they are, I think they're trying to, and this is always a very, very, very difficult thing, right? I had to do it in my baseball simulation game. I had to salaries for players, because they were determined by an algorithm, were starting to get way out of control, and I had to kind of bring those back in. Basically, I had to redo the collective bargaining agreement with the fake fantasy baseball players, and people hated it because it changed the value of the players in the game, and it kind of threw things out of whack for a while. And there may still be people that hate it. That's fine. Sorry, I did the best I could, but I think that maybe part of what Fox Next is doing here is that they're trying to rebalance the distribution of characters. And I think that what they've done is they've given us enough time, and if you do enough, you're going to get at least a three, maybe a 4-star new character, which is, in my opinion, decent. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
Because if you compare it to, again, I'm sorry, Galaxy of Heroes, then, like their marquee events, you got a guaranteed 3-star, then you paid $20 and you got a 4-star, or you paid $10 and you got a 4-star. So, I think they're kind of going into this whole, we want new characters, unless you're going to spend, we want players to typically get 3-star out of them. And I think that's on average what they want to do. And we're probably seeing, we don't have the data, but I imagine that on average, people are going to get around 3 stars.
Yeah, I would say so.
And, with that in mind, and I find myself in, the position of having to agree with Casino, where when I look at, the Sinister Six, the Sinister Six is not an in-game team. They're just not. They are. They are designed. They're an early to mid tier team, designed for players to have an option against defenders.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're still useful in other parts of the game, but not you're not going to use them to defeat. You're not going to use them in Fear of the Darkness. You're not going to use them in high level raid content. You're not going to use them in arena, things like that.
No,
they'll make a good blitz team. They'll make a good war team. That's about it.
So, and we have to understand as kind of late to end game players that not everything released is going to be for us.
Mm.
And we have to be careful not to get caught in this trap of listening to the vocal minority. And that really is kind of what Reddit is. And honestly, that's what we are, we're the vocal minority. And, it's where we have to kind of, I hate to say it, but we have to trust Foxnex to run the data and to kind of know what their game is doing, right? I'm not saying I do at all times because they've done some really bonehead things in the past, which we've railed about multiple times. But I don't see this civil disorder orb being horrible. It's bad compared to what we used to get in the past. I don't think it's bad going forward with what they are trying to do.
Yeah, I think that was actually my point just on the SAD podcast is what I'll call it. What is it, 2 podcasts ago? That was my whole point, was just that, what we know is so different compared to people who enter now. To them, this is how it is, and it's great. To us, we've seen the other side. We know that the grass was greener.
Right.
So it's hard for us to get used to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I always preface with, what I did with the other orb is just for what I was used to, it's not good.
Yeah.
But for everyone else or newcomers or new spenders, they don't know any better. So yeah, it's at least okay, if not good to them.
Yep. So the next question is, do you think Rhino has the potential to be a good character? Yes, no, or you don't know?
I think he has a place. I mean, he's a good counter to Brotherhood because of the mechanics on him.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah, I know it makes no narrative sense in the slightest, but yeah, I mean, he certainly has a place. But outside of that, he's not a particularly fantastic tank at all. So he's very niche, very situational.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. You always try to put me in boxes.
Well,
so everywhere.
Just once, I'd like you to actually come down on a side.
I'm like Foxnex. I live in ambiguity.
Yeah, that's why you're one of the perfect content creators for this game. When you read some of their marketing material, that ambiguity saves their butt so many times because you got to go back to it and go, oof, okay.
Yep.
We thought you said this. Most normal people would read it this way, but no.
Yeah, you have to interpret it in multiple ways and then figure out which one is more likely.
Right. That's very true. So I don't think did I give the numbers for the spending coring? 39 yes, 66 no. And then for the civil disorder orb, 68 people said it was bad, 33 said it was okay, 3 don't have an opinion, and 1 said it's good. And sorry guys, it's my OCD. It annoys me when I listen to people who do surveys and they don't give you the answers.
Mm-hmm.
So, because this one I'm not sharing out because it's got some internal data to it. So, but for do you think Rhino has the potential to be a good character? I'm with you. I think he does, not just against the Brotherhood, but also I think he's going to be good against, city heroes, the defenders, the Spider team, who I'd love to see additional people added to Spider-Gwen, Peter Porker. So, Spider Noir.
Spider Noir, yes. Peter Porker, no.
But Stealth Suit Spider-Man.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
Is that Miles?
No. We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
So on the does it have the potential? 75 people said yes. 21 said they don't know. 9 said no. And guys, that's our poll for the week. We didn't have a whole lot to go over. Maybe we'll have some more next week. We'll see. Trying to keep those kind kind of, short and sweet and to the point. So, Hebrew, let's move now to the dev blog, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So, the dev blog for today, Nick Fury Legendary Event is coming back. So, the Kree Oracle is coming on 7/15 for the Blitz, which makes me sad. I wish they had picked any other Kree minion, but Oracle. But I was one of those that went hard after the raid store to get Ronin and Oracle. So,
yeah.
So I would expect to see Fury coming in very, very soon. They didn't give a date in the dev blog, but if the Kree Blitz is starting on 7/15, I would expect it probably the week after, so maybe around the 22nd.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Where's your Fury at right now?
He's at 6. I'm going to have him at 7 in this next route.
Nice.
This next turn.
I am not going to have him at 7, but I will have him at 6.
Nice.
I think Reaper's the one. Reaper and Noble are the two that are kind of stopping me from getting him to 7-star. I've got Oracle, Cyborg, and Royal Guard all 7. So
right.
Let's see. So the Strike Raid Alpha is coming. It will continue to have Black Panther. So I'm kind of sad they didn't say this in here. So the dev blog reads, Alpha Raids are back. Coordinate with your alliance and battle for a chance to earn shards for the royal member of the Wakandan raid team, Black Panther. Well, there were 3 royal members of the Wakandan raid team. 4. The only one is Okoye, who's not royal. I mean, I guess M'Baku. I mean, he leads the gorilla tribe, so I guess that would make him because he's not the king.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So we'll give him M'Baku. M'Baku is in that gray area, right? But obviously, Black Panther is the king of Wakanda, but Shuri is his sister, so she's a princess of Wakanda, so she's in the royal family. And Killmonger is his cousin. So he's also in the royal family. So, I'm being nitpicky. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
What do you say? They said the royal member, and that's a little rude to Shuri and Killmonger. I'm just saying. But they didn't say the best raid team.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad. I expected to see more trying to upsell the Wakandans.
Yeah, more confidence in what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where's your Black Panther at right now?
I believe he's 7-star. If not,
Is
he's
he?
right on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there. I think I'm maybe 100 shards away from a 7-star. So I'm like, yeah, okay, great, whatever. Awesome.
But do you think that it's going to have? Because they didn't specify exactly if it was going to be how the reward system's going to work. If it's going to be in orbs or not.
That's awesome. You're absolutely right, because all they said was earn shards.
Earn a chance.
For a chance to earn shards. Right.
I think chance is the key word there.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that they're going to change up the Alpha Raid orbs to provide maybe more brawlers, since that's what Black Panther is. Maybe mystics.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll maybe just be Wakandan, like a Wakandan tag.
But that would only be like 4 people, and
I'll take it.
Look,
that's good.
Give me some Spider-Verse, since you have to have Spider-Verse for some reason to get Shuri. Maybe put Spider-Verse. No, but they're going to give you minions. They're going to give you.
Of course,
minions.
there has to be trash in there. Yeah. Otherwise, what else will I get?
Right.
They're not going to give me people I want.
Look, this is not being negative. This is specifically their wording: a chance to earn shards.
Yeah, I have a feeling that even if it's not, even if it is like the way it was, which would surprise me, I have a feeling that on its next rotation, that it certainly would be moved to this way that we currently see it.
Most probably.
This orbs, because I think that that's just what their normal is going to be from now on.
Which I'm I'm hoping that they looked at this gamma ray, they looked at the feedback, and they're like, yeah, let's maybe we adjust this. Maybe. I'm hoping.
Dare to dream, my friend. Dare to
look, if as an envoy, I can't cry at Cerebro's ear and try to make things better for the community as a whole, then what's the point?
Yeah, it's funny whenever your best weapon is just pure annoyance.
That statement works on many different levels because it is my best weapon.
It is, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Best weapon.
Especially for you, because you're very good at it.
I am very good at it. Hey, look, man, I'm 45. I am no longer going to hide who I am. Wow. I am proud to be me.
Right.
I will tell you, though, I am no longer the most annoying envoy. Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
There's no comment on that for me.
Oh, man. Anyway. Let's time mark that one. Maybe pull that one out.
All right.
Let's see. Let's write that one down at 40, somewhere around the 46-minute mark.
Okay, 46-minute mark.
46-minute mark. So anyway, live show, guys. Benefits of the live show. Something may have just been cut out that you just missed out on. So the Shocker Blitz is here. So they went back to the Thursday. So this was really weird, right? The Shocker Orb came out, Tuesday? The Shocker Blitz came out Thursday. They've never had the Orbs and the Blitz that close together. They've always tried to give you a week. And it's really weird because they had gone recently to where this new character Blitz was happening on Mondays instead of Thursdays. Now they're going back to Thursdays. And I would prefer that they have a schedule that they kind of stick to, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Players don't like not being able to plan or prepare, especially in a game designed around strategy, planning, and preparing. This is a resource management game. We can't manage our resources if we don't know if we're just throwing darts at a black wall in a black room. So
yeah, I mean, I certainly understand that, but for some reason, I feel like maybe I am the minority in this. I feel like I probably am. Whenever you take a look at all the competitive players, right, or end game players, whatever you want to call it, I've never had an issue with them not having a super strict schedule. I don't know if it's just me or not, but whenever it comes to that, it seems like they do have a schedule, but it's very it's. I mean, if they want to break it, they will. I don't think that they care too much, but that's not too much of a problem for me. But it seems like I'm surprised by how many people actually care if they do that.
I mean, maybe it's just my OCD. I don't know.
Maybe it is, yeah.
But we've got the Shocker Blitz going on right now. Are you kind of surprised that these guys are relatively easy unlocks? So I think Shocker's a 15 shard unlock as well as what Rhino was. I think the entire Sinister 6 is a 15-star unlock or 15 shard unlock. Just 2 stars.
I'm not particularly surprised actually, because I think that it isn't meant for end game content, so I don't think that they're making it particularly tough to get.
Yeah.
I
think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. These are definitely more early game.
Yeah, I mean, if X-Men didn't have a legendary unlock or something like that, and they're as good as they are, I would be shocked if they had an unlock at that level.
Yeah.
But no, something like this, no, it's just a good team to bring on your way up to end game content. You know?
And it gives you another alternative for villain nodes. So
yeah,
that's a good thing. Hopefully they'll make it to where they're farmable at some point. So. I've heard he's not that good, but
Shocker.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to play with him at all, so
he's
on
par. He's on par with the rest.
Is he? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean Rhino kind of stood out, but
are we doing the whatever we call the champion spotlight on him or no?
Not this week because we're doing the other thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the spotlight will come back. For those of you that have asked for it, we are going to bring the spotlight back, but we kind of have something that we wanted to do for the next few weeks, and we're going to try to maybe do every once in a while. and you guys will see later when we get to that segment. So it's something brand new. So we did get today, however, some fantastic news in the fact that there were new orb additions. And the biggest orb addition here is Minerva, right? Mm-hmm. So I've buried the lead completely because this is probably the biggest news of the entire show. Minerva is available in premium orbs. Now, I've heard it's limited time. I've heard it's not limited time. So this reading here doesn't indicate limited time. It's saying that, you know, she's entered the premium orb, not for a limited time. It's just she's just in the premium orb. I'm hoping she's permanently in the premium orb. Look, I don't like...
I'd be shocked if she wasn't, honestly. Like, that would be really weird, considering... I feel like for something like that, they would have definitely specified. But, you know, I know Foxnext is Foxnext, but still, even with that, I would have imagined they would specify that. I think that she's here to stay.
I do too. Now, I do not believe premium orbs is quote unquote farming a character. It's not a farmable location, but that's because the drop rates are horrible. You're getting everybody. So, but I think it's great that she's actually available now for people to, you know, play roulette and get, you know, play. Look, step right up to the Foxnext slot machine. Maybe you'll get lucky. Who knows?
Yeah, I wonder how much money. It'd be really interesting to see how much money they're going to make in premium orbs in the next couple days.
I'll be honest. If people are spending money on premium orbs and not trying, because they had a Minerva offer, they've had it up a couple of times. If that offer is available, please buy the offer. Do not waste your money on premium orbs.
But we don't know if another offer is going to be coming around for her.
That's very fair.
I mean, it probably will at some point, but God knows when. So
right after she's been in premium orbs for a long time.
How shocked would you be if they put her in the store like tomorrow? How shocked would you be? Would you change your narrative on Foxnext?
Change my narrative? No, I would give them great accolades for it because I think if they put her in a store, right? Let's see, we just had M'Baku go to Arena. We had Killmonger go to Raid. Let's say they added her to the War Store, which I think would be the perfect place for her.
What if they added her to the Blitz store?
I would be very, very shocked because that's where they put Mantis and that's where they're putting Miles.
Yeah, I don't mean as far as the logistics between other characters, just how nice they are.
Let's say they did it, right? I would say that's a great thing because Minerva is one of the most versatile characters. She's one of the most plug and play characters in the game. Yeah. Okay, she's probably the second most plug and play character in the game, if not the most plug and play character, right there with Ultron. And
yeah, I would still say she's number one plug and play as far as necessity is concerned.
I think you're right until you get to Ultron. So not having Ultron, but having seen Ultron, I think a case could be made either way. But you're right. I mean, it's definitely a clear 1-2 here. They're both right up at the top. I think it depends on what you need at the time.
Yeah, I would bet that if they did that though, a counter would be coming like almost immediately to her somehow.
Yeah,
like to counter her directly, because I don't think that they'd let a character like that. This is where sidetracking begins. We're now talking.
We're actually kind of theory crafting. This is not sidetracking. This is theory crafting.
So, we're using a hypothetical as a base that will never happen.
Maybe, you never know. But here's the thing, right? So there are two ways to effectively, well, maybe three. There are three really effective ways to quote unquote counter a character. One, you just release a hard counter, right?
Yeah.
Two, you nerf the character by changing it. For example, changing it like what they did with Phoenix, where Phoenix only draws a certain amount of percentage health. It's not like it wouldn't be 15 total percent, but it would only be like 15% up to her max health, something like that, right? Or they do something to kind of nerf the abilities. So those are some of the two more common ones. The third way you really quote unquote counter / nerf a character is you make them readily available to everybody. Because if they are so prevalent in everywhere and everybody's got them, then it lowers the quote unquote speciality of the character because
but that doesn't counter content. That counters player to player.
But that's true, right? So it would kind of hurt their Fear of the Darkness. Although getting those uniques for the Fear of the Darkness is a major pain.
Tell me, I'm still waiting. Like I'm still
I
waiting.
am 2 pieces away from getting Minerva up to Gear 13, but I'm not waiting. I've got a good team. That can go and do it.
Well, I mean, I'm not upset that because of her that I haven't gone into Fear of the Darkness yet. Because I know I'll crush that as soon as I get into it. But it's more of the fact that it's just annoying that I haven't had that last piece I need. I feel like they know, and that they're purposely blocking it. I'm about to start.
You need the core refresh.
I'm about to say, like, I haven't core refreshed yet, and I'm about to start because I was always like, I'm not going to core refresh.
If you're only one piece away, just core refresh.
I'll wait for it, but yeah, I'm about to start because it's getting ridiculous.
You wait for it. You're going to be waiting a month.
Exactly.
So,
but do that.
So Minerva's in the premium orbs. I doubt she's going to come to a store because she does kind of break the game, but she is a fantastic character. If you've got premium orbs saved up, this is what you are waiting for, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've heard people go, man, I opened a bunch of orbs and I got like 5 Minerva shards. I'm like, yep, well, welcome to the Fox Next slot machine, man. So it's what these things are. But they are bringing Spider-Man Miles and Rescue to premium orbs next week. Now I'm excited to see Rescue come in here because she really is the linchpin for that power armor team. But I'm really surprised because we got Falcon before we got Rescue, and we don't have Falcon yet. So I don't know what's going on here. We're out of release order, which that's they have no release, they have no cadence release order, but they had been recently following it. Kind of where we had War Machine, we had Mantis, so they were kind of in an orderly fashion. But I'm kind of excited to see Rescue coming in because I've completely changed my opinion on that because Rescue and the Power Armor team are crazy good. Yeah.
I mean, it's I'm happy that they're bringing him in there. I just don't like Rescue. I mean, obviously, she's amazing in that team, but you take her outside of that team, and I think she's just garbage.
Well, I mean, look, it's a forced team, right? It's a forced meta, but it's an effective one for Alliance War.
It really is, but
in Blitz, it's really effective in Blitz.
I mean, that whole team anywhere, honestly, is very good now. But
not in Arena. It gets crushed in Arena.
Well, I mean, especially now. Consider what teams we're seeing now in Arena.
Right, that's fair.
What the metas are. Yeah, everything's going to be getting crushed. But Miles has never impressed me too terribly much. He's a fun character to have though in the Spider-Verse team. But yeah,
he's got some fun utility with the
he does.
The disrupt and the turn meter removal. So he's got a good AOE. I get it. He's not the most enjoyable character to play, but he's got some good utility.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, so I mean, it's nice that they're adding things to the store now. I think that there was a little while where we were kind of waiting on stuff to happen to the stores and nothing was coming.
Yeah.
It was fairly soon after the game was released, but it was like definitely a bit of a drought in that.
I'll be honest, I am crazy surprised that they're going into the Blitz, that he is going into the Blitz Orb because we just got Mantis there within the last month or so.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they've really been upping their ante with that.
So
Mantis was a really good ad too.
Mantis was a really good ad. I am almost completely out of Blitz currency now.
Yeah, I bet.
Because none of these characters, like the last few have been ones I already have 7-star. I haven't really needed to care about the gold, which is stupid. I probably should have. But and Shocker, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I'll probably just milestone and quit. But buying Alliance War tickets, buying defensive tickets, and buying Mantis, like as many refreshes as I can. I went for like 20,000 tickets. I think I'm down to 4 4K.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
and that's still like a good bit different from everyone else, because in beta all of those credits were so much more abundant. And
Yes.
so like I remember you and Muggin walked out with, and especially Muggin obviously
Muggin had a
walked
lot more
out
than I
like
did.
you guys just robbed the bank or something compared to everyone else.
Well, and you and I talked about, what was it? When Mantis first dropped, I think I had like 40,000 tickets, and I just blew like 15,000 farming Mantis.
Exactly. And I was like, what?
Just opening orbs, because I was like, man, whatever, man. I got a whole crap ton of these things. Because my Blitz store had been completely farmed for months. So they were just sitting there. So yeah, I think it's good. They're adding characters to other areas. They're going to make Miles farmable, and it makes me curious if they're going to change the beta raid now, so that it's no longer Miles. I mean, if it's a Miles raid and he's in the Blitz store, that would be dumb.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. That's just too silly even for Fox Next.
Yeah. So and then finally in the dev blog, Ultima 7 had its first strike winners, and so it's Panzer Hawk and Legion of Cabal. Now, there was a little bit of controversy around this, and shout out to Valley and Casino for kind of explaining what kind of happened here, why there were two, because I hadn't done a whole lot of research. It actually was it was timing, but it was more about the fact that they had to wait for daily resets to get some tickets.
Yeah. And
that had the resets been the same, and because I guess some people were overseas on the other side of the planet, that they both completed it within the same amount of possible time, comparatively for their time zones.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So
it was the time zones.
I mean, look, these are the arguing of we did it first versus we would have done it at the exact same time. Look, these are whaley whale problems.
Right.
These are first world whale problems. Congratulations to both you guys. I think it's absolutely awesome. And we are going to see, that's a big moth. Sorry. I just look over at it's something buzzing on my kitchen wall. Hebrew would have been up out of the chair and out of the room. But
although moths and butterflies actually don't affect me too much, but a moth more so than a butterfly will affect me. But
I'm not sure. It's not actually a moth. I'm not sure what it is, but
then I'd be out. If you can't easily tell it's a moth, then never mind. I'm out of the room.
It's not a moth, but it's just a flying bug of some kind.
Yeah, I'm out.
But to celebrate, there are going to be a community celebration with huge rewards. Bigly huge rewards. So I'm surprised you didn't laugh at that one. I had hoped you would. I was working on the bigly, trying to figure out how I was going to work that one in.
Sorry, I was looking at something in chat at the time, but so I missed it. But I don't know what that was in chat. But yeah.
Oh, somebody trying to play.
I was going to try to play a song or something.
Play a song, because I still have the music bot in here. I still got some weird bots in here. So it looks like somebody typed the command and the music bot tried to comply. So
yeah.
Anyway, so that's the dev blog for the week. And I
will say, sorry, just wanted to add something onto that last thing. I am very happy that Fox Next decided to do that. I know I've mentioned that before, but that wasn't something they originally said they were going to do whenever they first announced this whole Ultima 7 thing. Yeah. So I still put an asterisk next to huge rewards. So we'll see what happens there. But
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But at least it's something. Like, it's something that we weren't going to have that now we do. So
that's very true. That's very true. All right. So we are a bit over on our time there, but we went under a couple of others. So I gave us a little over on this one. We went about 9 minutes over on that segment. Which isn't horrible for us. That's not horrible. But
no.
Now, Hebrew, is time for where normally we would have the character spotlight. But this week, what we are going to do, just so you guys know, I have decided to kind of back off from video content creation. I'm probably still going to do it, but I'm not going to be pushing for it like I was, because I don't have the time that I thought I was going to have to be able to do it. It was causing me a lot of stress. I just needed to back out of it and just kind of do things a little bit more casually, maybe Twitch on Wednesday nights when the family's gone to church or whatever, when I have that free time. But what I had done earlier in June, like mid-June, I had released a character survey. And I had asked a lot of people to say in the community to say, hey, rank the top 5 characters and the one worst character by role in the game. So tonight, Hebrew and I are going to be talking the top 5 blasters in Marvel Strike Force for June, July 2019. We are going to be giving our top 5s, and then we're going to be talking about the community and who they chose as their top 5. So before we get into this, in Hebrew, I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but
No, you're fine.
I want to give you guys some of the methodology that I used for the community. So what happened was it was a Google form, and you could have picked the same person in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when I was looking at the numbers and trying to figure out like who got the most 1, who got the most 2, who got the most 3, there were a couple where like 1 and 2 were the same person. And when I was talking with friend of the podcast and patron, good buddy Evan, he was like, well, just assign a number value and calculate based off of 5 points for first place, 4 for second, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for last. And then for worst, I just gave him -5. And that way you give the point values and you calculate like if they got, where they were at. That way you get kind of an overall view of where the general community consensus lies. And I want to say we got nearly 300 responses for this survey, which was fantastic. I was going to do a video for this, and to make a long story short, I was recording the video, and I was using my wife's digital camera to do the video, which does a maximum of 10 minutes for video, and I didn't realize I had gone like 15 to 20, and I completely lost like a whole entire segment. And I got so angry, frustrated that I just never bothered completing it. I still have the audio and video out there somewhere. But what I've decided to do is go ahead and, after talking with Hebrew, we're going to use it here for Ravager. And so we're going to talk about, for, like I said, June, July 2019, the top 5 blasters for myself and Hebrew. Now, these are blasters currently in the game. And then the top 5 as aggregated for the community. So, Hebrew, why don't you start us off, since I've talked so much now, and let us know, out of the blasters, who are your top 5?
All right, so it's obviously going to be Aim Assaulter, Bullseye, Mercenary. No, just kidding. All right, I picked Ultron. This is in order from best to worst, by the way.
Okay.
Ultron, Rocket Raccoon, Pyro, Falcon, and then Punisher.
Okay.
Do you want me to explain now, or explain later, or not explain, or what?
Let's see how we. Oh, I got to start that segment timer. Well, let's talk about where we agree and where we disagree. So,
Sure, okay.
I actually agree with your first 3. I had Ultron, Rocket Raccoon, and Pyro as my first 3. Where your next one was Falcon, and then but you had Falcon and then Punisher. I actually had Punisher as my 4th, and then I had Killmonger as my 5th.
So it's funny because actually, I at one point in my mind, whenever I was making the list, I had Punisher at 4th and then Killmonger at 5th as well, but I changed it. But so I mean, I'll just real quick go down, which is just like Ultron. Obviously, he's ridiculously overpowered right now. He's very plug and play, which makes him very good. He's hard to obtain, so I think that those will maybe potentially skew the statistics of what the community says. But then Rocket Raccoon, because once again, he's very plug and play, one of the biggest meta team, one of the biggest players in a couple of meta teams right now. Lots of damage. You just need to have protection for him.
Yep.
Pyro, obviously, because he has great utilities, also in one of the best meta teams right now.
Yep.
Those buff lists are ridiculous, and the bleeds are amazing.
Yep.
And then Falcon I put in there because he is also in the best meta team right now, or one of the best meta teams right now with the Power Armor team. And so he's very important to that. And outside of it, he has some use outside of that team as well, so it's not terrible.
I've actually heard that I think Mobile Gamer I was watching one of his videos, and he had mentioned that I think Casino had talked about Falcon being kind of a key component to completing that blaster challenge at the top tier.
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't have to be super powerful to do it. You got to have some kind of powerful blasters around him, but that apparently with Falcon in there, you can kind of 3-star that final blaster challenge.
Yeah, his utility is good for it. So, but yeah, he's good. And then Punisher I put in there because even though the defenders defenders are still a great team and everything, and he's usually a big plug-in for that 5th member. Just looking at him from raw ability as a blaster independently, the ability to get that extra bonus for villain characters, which are like 50% of the characters, is amazing. I mean, he does so much damage with that ultimate. It's awesome. So I definitely put him there. That's pretty much why. I mean, I didn't put Killmonger in there because although I actually think he's much cooler than Falcon. Falcon's the person I like the least on my list because I actually don't care for the character all that much. But I like Killmonger more. But I'm just so upset with Wakanda right now that I put him off of it, and I don't think Wakanda is as good at Falcon, as good as Falcon in their respective meta teams at what they do. So,
and I agree with that assessment, right? Mm-hmm. But when I look at blasters in a vacuum, I had to go with Killmonger over Falcon and over actually the community. So, and over the community's pick as well. Mm-hmm. Although I have to agree with the community's pick as well as a really good viable option. But, Killmonger, when he gets going, I mean, he's just crazy. And if you look at his kit, he doesn't really have, he only has one thing where he kind of relies on having other Wakandans. So he can work in a pure blaster team, or he can work in another team entirely.
Yeah.
Because actually, you know what? You could kind of pair Nobu with Killmonger. I know I said it. I'm sorry, but you could pair Nobu with Killmonger and give him that counter, and he's just gonna go crazy. Mm-hmm. But when I looked at his kit, he's nigh on unkillable at higher levels. Because he's getting that 30% drain every time he hits you with a counterattack. When he does his basic, he's doing a drain. So he's refreshing up to 60% if he crits.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's people have always said that like that crit for the the T4 add-on. It's good on paper, but yeah, the amount of times that it actually hits is not what you want.
Yeah, you need to have a way to get his crit chance up, which the only person that comes to mind that does a crit chance up is, I want to say, Iron Man is the only one that comes to mind. Now, I'm sure there are others out there, but obviously that only goes to other tech allies. So I'd have to take a look to see if there's anybody that increases crit chance. But yeah, so that's kind of why I went with Killmonger, because as a pure blaster, he actually works outside of a Wakandan team really well.
Right.
So now the community. This was, you and I talked about this early on, and this was a bit surprising, I want to say, to us in a way. The numbers were very, very close, but the community's number one choice for top blaster was Rocket Raccoon. He got 991 points, Ultron came in second with 947 points. And what was funny about this was that Ultron actually had more first place votes than Rocket, but he had fewer fewer overall votes, right? So because he had fewer overall votes, and Rocket kind of ran away and dominated the second and third place, right. Rocket, in that aggregate became first place.
Yeah,
So,
I still think that has to do with the fact that he's locked behind a wall now.
That's extremely fair. I don't think that there's anybody that has played or really knows a lot about the game that would say Rocket is better than Ultron. Rocket's great,
right?
But this is just
Ultron's just a monster.
Like I said, this was a pure, mathematical anomaly on that one, really.
Right.
Pyro came in third for the community. Punisher came in fourth. Their fifth pick, though, was War Machine.
I mean, I can understand that for the same kind of reasons that I picked Falcon.
Yep.
And I understand that.
What's funny is I mistakenly included Cyclops because I thought Cyclops was coming at the end of the month on that list. He actually came in sixth for them, but Falcon was seventh.
Right.
Falcon was seventh. Killmonger was ninth.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think people are just kind of disappointed with the Wakanda team in general.
Yeah.
What was Punisher? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Punisher was fourth.
Fourth? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Pyro got 639 total points. Punisher got 552 total points. And the War Machine got 452. And those guys really ran away with it. It wasn't even close between the fifth and sixth. So, like I said, War Machine got 425. Cyclops, who did come in sixth, only got 152 total points.
Right, which is, I'm sure, because most people don't know this kit. Because that kit is...
right, it looks ridiculous.
But it can't be real. It can't be real.
Well, but a lot of it's also dependent upon him being with Phoenix. No,
it really doesn't, because his base damage is insane. Even if you look at his base damage stat and especially his basic attack is insane. It's like 300%, and then it's a massive amount higher than any other blaster. So it's crazy, unless they've changed it since then. But I remember
his base damage is 28,000. Oh, that's seven red stars. That's 7 red stars. It's still
no. But I mean, whenever you compare it to any other character with 7 red stars, it's the same thing as if you're looking for proportional differences,
which we can do now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, actually, I gonna kind of pat myself on the back here. I worked with or I mentioned to Ty about this. That we needed to have the ability to filter and sort, but filter the character stat tables on MSF.gg. So at Cyclops is far and away the biggest damage dealer.
Yeah.
It was Rocket at 12,000, but it's Cyclops at 18. Now this is 0 red star, so. The top 5 are Cyclops, Rocket, Punisher, Aim Assaulter, and then Merc Sniper.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it can't be real. Like, that has to be...
Yeah.
Because that's just so high. And then if you look at his, 300% damage plus apply Disrupt on his basic, no. That has to be a joke. Yeah. It's crazy. and it only gets worse from there.
So now, Hebrew, who is, in your opinion, the worst blaster?
Oh, the worst blaster? Well, it has to be, are we talking named character or minions?
Minions are included because I included all the blasters.
Probably, either Hydra Grenadier or Hydra Rifle Trooper, I would imagine, is the worst. Or Mercenary Soldier.
I am honestly amazed. I could have swore that you were going to say Aim Assaulter.
No, just because I the Hydra minions seem to be the most useless minions out of them all.
I agree with you on that. Actually, I picked the Hydra Rifle Trooper. The community did pick unanimously picked Aim Assaulter.
I'm not surprised because honestly, even though Hydra is just like forgotten, I honestly think it's just like no one thinks of Hydra. Aim has become synonymous with bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I don't think any of the main Aim people are good at all.
Right. Well, I think that individually they've got it's when you throw them together and you try to get that you expect that synergy. They're just so you want them to be good, but it just doesn't work.
The concept behind them is interesting, but it fails whenever you take it out of theory and into practicality. But regardless, I think it's generally just because Aim has become synonymous with just terrible. So yeah.
Now the one thing that people say about like the trooper and the grenadier is that they have AoE attacks, which is fair, but Aim Assaulter does speed up, he does bleed, and he's so much faster and hits so much harder. I'm willing to give up some AoE damage for that. So yeah, because when he does his special, he gets speed up for 4 turns, and then also fills his speed bar by 60%. So, 50%, because nobody's going to ever drop a T4 ability, Matt, on Aim Assaulter. But
if anyone was, I would say it'd be you. But yeah,
you never know, man. Hey, look, Aim will have their day. Aim will have their day.
Aim will have their day. If the game survives, I think that will be the only reason why they wouldn't eventually have their day.
Yeah.
But the day that happens will be a very good day for me because then my 7 Red Star Scientist Supreme will finally come into play.
There you go. Look, she's got utility outside of an aim team.
She does. It's just she's still. Yeah.
And like I said, I you gotta, if you look at the Aim characters individually, they're not the greatest on the planet. I mean, nobody's going to sit here and say that, but I don't think they're the worst.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that is the top 5 blasters and brawlers. Or I'm sorry, not brawlers. That's the top 5 blasters for July 2019, as ranked by Hebrew and myself individually, and then by the community. And I think it's very comforting to see that our top 4 really were the same.
Yeah. Also, everyone give feedback on how you like that segment too.
Yes, please let us know. Go to our comment section and let us know what you think of that. In next week's survey. Because, we've got more roles to go through. So we've got brawlers, controllers, protectors, support. I've got teams and legendaries. So, I think we're good to go there. So please let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to see different. This character spotlight-ish issue or segment is obviously going to be evolving around. So now normally this would be where our executive segment would be, but we haven't heard back from any of our executives yet about a segment, so we're not going to have one this week. So if you would like to become an executive and be able to sponsor a segment a month on our show, then we're more than happy to have you join us. And if you are currently an executive, just send us a message and say, hey, this month I'd like you guys to talk about this. And we will take care of that. And you can do so in Discord at our in the executive channel. So
yeah.
All right, Hebrew. I think now we are ready for one of everybody's favorite segments, the grab bag.
All right, that's the good stuff.
That is the good stuff. This is the get the silly wacky answers to whatever questions you may have. So, let's see. We are not going to run through. We got 50 total questions. We are not going to go through all of these. Let's see. So, Hebrew, what's your favorite team to play that doesn't have forced synergy?
That doesn't have forced synergy. I'm trying to think of teams that don't have forced synergy right now, or that I've played at least before. I mean, I guess probably so. Are we talking like teams that I make or actual teams that exist, like still like character teams, but they just don't have a lot of synergy with each other?
When I read this, the first thing that comes to mind is like the hybrid teams that you make. Like for example, for me, I can answer this really, really quickly. Right? It's my arena team, which is kind of a Brotherhood Minerva Shield hybrid team.
Okay.
Right. There's no forced synergy; they just work well together.
Right. So I guess for me it would probably be. I mean, granted, there's some synergy in this, but Star-Lord, Groot, Shield Security, Minerva, and
there's only one character left to throw in that team. There's only one.
I'm trying to remember the other one, and I'm blanking on it.
Oh my God, it's Fury.
Oh, Rocket. No. Rocket Raccoon also.
So you're running security without any other shield at all?
Yeah, it's actually one of the best Fear of the Darkness teams.
Huh.
It's a really good Fear of the Darkness team.
See, I've heard that team take Rocket out, put in Fury, because it feeds shield security.
And I understand why that would be good, but yeah, it's if you put in Rocket there, you get so much more damage and you still get good protection.
Yeah.
So it helps clear a lot. But Nick Fury would certainly work, but it would be even more sustainy, just less damagey.
Yeah, and I think both work.
They definitely both work. It's just one is more sustained, one is more damage. But I don't think you need the more sustained with that team.
Yeah, I can see that. See, I haven't had the chance to run that yet, so.
But even then, there's a good amount of synergy on the team, so I don't know. That's a hard question. I guess I need more specifics to answer it appropriately. But yeah, that's probably my best answer to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's a good thing there. What would you think of one specific play created by Fox Next where the system pulls player stats and matchmakers? Okay, that's a really long, convoluted question. I keep thinking how much it sucks to try and recruit decent players. What would you think of one specific play created by Fox Next where the system pulls player stats and matchmakes with alliances that are looking? Captains create a profile of what kind of player they want and what levels they are looking for, and individuals enter what kind of alliance they're looking for, laid back, hardcore, etc., and the system would introduce them, not force them together, but would get notification of matches. Thoughts?
I mean, I think that's great. I mean, I think that there needs to be a better system put in place. I mean, it's definitely going to be an external system because they won't put it in this game. I can guarantee it. They're fine with the way things operate now, which is unfortunate. But I think that something like that would be fantastic. If anyone's ever, especially captains, I'm sure know whenever they lose a player, it's always a pain to try to find someone else. And so if they had a system like that was put in place, it was basically like Tinder for teams, alliance teams, then yeah, I think that would be great, which is actually a really good idea. I might, you know what? My Tinder one's slightly different, but and I'll never do anything with it anyways. But yeah, that's just a really good idea. Your idea is very good, and I think it would work very well.
There's a lot that would go into something like that, but it's relatively. Actually, I could do that relatively easily. I mean, it's just a really quick relational database.
Can we please make a Tinder swipe mechanic on it? Because that would be awesome.
Nope. So,
gosh.
Does Dorian have a character he hates as much as Hebrew hates Vision? No, nobody has that much hate in them. Nobody has that much hate in them.
No.
What's the most effective war defense you've faced, Hebrew?
Effective war defense?
Yeah.
I mean, X-Men is probably the most effective to just absolutely destroy me. Um, yeah, I mean, anything with X-Men is probably definitely the most prevalent right now that I've come up against that I'm just destroyed on, or anything else with Ultron in it.
So yeah, I think those. So for me, I was thinking about this one, and the first thing that came to mind is some of those deceptive teams. Mm-hmm. So it's the ones where it's like, oh hey, look, this is only like an 80k power team, and oh okay.
Are you just say aim right now? Is this all?
No,
is this all
no. This has nothing to do with aim. Here's an 80k power team. Here's Mantis, here's Captain Marvel, here's 3 other characters. It's only like 80k power, and you can't really go in and I don't. I sometimes forget to bother looking, and you get in there and you take in your 80, maybe a 90k power team to overpower it just a little bit, right? And it turns out the entire 80k on that team is basically Captain Marvel. And she just decimates you.
Yeah.
Because she heals herself from 40,000. I sat here for 4 minutes one day. I crushed everybody else, and I had 4 people left. And I'm like, I just hit auto, and I watched her get plunked and plunked and plunked. And she just healed herself back up to max every time. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So I find those to be highly effective defenses where you get kind of suckered in, and you have that one super powerful character that would just kind of crush your team. And then if you're not careful the next time, it just continues happening. And it's just at some point you got to go, great. I'm going to have to blow my Mystic Controller heal block team on one character.
Yeah, I agree.
So that one's nasty.
It is. That is a really. I'm trying to think right now of that team and me battling up against it, and I don't think it superficially. I think I would try it, and then I would probably be stomped on it. So yeah.
Let's see. Do you think they should extend the roster filtering to the battle selection screens and make the save squad max unlimited? Yes and yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the first horror movie you remember seeing?
The first horror movie? Is that what they said, or the best?
First
horror movie. I want to say The Ginger Dead Man was probably the first super cheesy horror movie. At least that's the first one I remember. So yeah, I don't know. That's probably it. The Ginger Dead Man.
I think mine was The Howling.
Funny movie. I don't even know that one.
It's from like 1981.
Oh yeah, no idea.
Yeah. So I really think that mine was The Howling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was a werewolf movie. I remember that much. So it was The Howling or The Howling 2. I'm thinking it was The Howling though. So that bug just went down into the clothes.
Oh god.
But that we're giving away.
Oh god, that's still terrible. Some poor child is going to be surprised by a bug. I can only imagine. That's traumatizing.
Oh no, it's sitting here behind me on the wall.
Gross.
Okay. Let's see. Hey man, living in the South, that's what you get. You get big bugs. Let's see. What are your thoughts on best abilities to use orange mats on? And I'm going to say, let's limit it to 2.
It's 2. Okay. You go first while I think. I'm actually going to pull up my character list real quick.
The best 2. And let's make it a little bit harder. Let's say non-legendary.
Non-legendary, huh?
Non-legendary best 2. Man, I still keep going back to Thanos. Because that cosmic energy feed on kill in raids is fantastic.
Yeah. I suppose in a vacuum.
Fantastic.
In a vacuum, that is a good upgrade from what it was to what it is.
Well, yeah, it was originally just Black Order, and it's like but man, that is a tough question. So, and guys, I apologize. We don't we don't prep these questions beforehand. We both are kind of going in blind because we kind of like the surprise of.
Oh yeah, Iron Fist's heal.
Iron Fist heal is amazingly good.
The passive one, yeah.
That is a good one. Let me see here now. I want to say I really like, especially because defenders are so good early game. I think JJ, her shake it off or rejection, either one are really really good. Because rejection is going to clear all positive effects from whomever, whereas the shake it off is going to clear all negative effects.
Yeah.
You don't need it for the 4 energy ability, so I mean I don't know. I really feel like defenders have some of the best ones in the game.
There's some good ones in Shield too.
There are some good ones in Shield. There absolutely are. Minerva's got some of the worst in the game.
Well, I mean, her kit is already so overloaded that that doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
Man, this is a tricky, in-depth question. I don't know why
no, we took legendaries out, so Phoenix is off the list. I mean, some people still like Yondu. I don't.
No, not anymore. Not worth it.
No, it's really not. I mean, look, it's nice to clear 2 positive effects. Not that one. But it's on turn. That was so much better when it wasn't just choose 2 random enemies. If they have something, then woohoo. If not, boo, sad drama.
Oh yeah, Black Panther's passive in the brawler team, the old school brawler team, very good.
That's fair. I don't think.
Hard. I mean, in any
team,
one. But yeah.
I don't think I've got that one. I never got into the Black Widows. So, yeah, I'm probably going to go with Defenders as, especially early game, as 2 of the best ones to do.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to also say Pyrotechnics from Pyro. It's a very good one. So, yeah, I don't know. Any of those that I mentioned would probably be my... I mentioned, there's more than 2 on the table now at this point, but
which is fine. I think we both kind of covered a little bit more, but yeah, okay. So next. Let me get off MSF.gg. When do you think Coulson will be out? Who knows? We saw Loki for 6 months before he was in game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while.
Do you think the Sinister Six, excluding Mysterio, were put in the game to give us some meta-relevant downtime between Phoenix and Coulson/Cyclops? So, I don't know if Sinister Six are ever going to be meta-relevant, except in newer shards. Well, I guess meta-relevant downtime. I guess meaning not a new meta.
Yeah, not something that people have.
Maybe I'm reading it differently. So.
Yeah, and I think that's valid. I think that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, most likely.
It's a fair assessment, yeah.
Let's see.
Punisher's passive. Oh yeah, and there's things on Ultron for sure.
Well, yes.
we said non-legendaries.
Which technically Ultron's not a legendary, but he should be.
Basically a legendary,
right. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I have Defenders and Shield with Fury at 200k power, and I'm about to unlock Ultron with a Menardians team. I am not interested in Arena, so what would you recommend as a next focus after gearing up Ultron? If you're not interested in Arena, I still say Arena is one of the most important aspects of the game because you're getting free cores. I would tell you to start working on Alliance war teams to help out your alliance. I think that's where you should focus next, is making sure that you've got enough solid teams like Power Armor. I would maybe focus on Power Armor. I would maybe focus on getting Brotherhood. Working on other Alliance war viable teams.
Right. Yeah, for me, I honestly would, I would personally kind of wait right now, just because I really feel like there is a really good raid team coming out soon. I feel it in my bones. And because I feel like, considering what happened with Wakanda and it didn't deliver, and it's been already, we've had a huge arena team come out, and then we've had another, like, kind of, you know, low key team that people don't particularly care about. I think a huge raid team is on the horizon. So I don't know. If I were you, I'd honestly probably start saving up my resources a bit. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of waiting, not putting anything in anyone in particular, except for the stuff I need for Fear of the Darkness. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And just as Brady said, yeah, Fantastic Four is what I think it's going to be. So
maybe. So I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Valley Casino stream or video where Casino didn't leak, but he gave apparent super completely vague hints. And there were some key words in there that he kind of emphasized, and they were kind of odd choices, like, you know, over the top, and things like oh shoot, hold on, I had it written down. Give me 1 second here, because I was in a conversation with Evan about this where we were talking about it, and saying things like over the top, and unite them, spelled out, assume not part of the team, paired up with the addition. And I wonder if it may not be Secret War related. There is also a storyline, and I kind of give this to I kind of work this out. This is going really tinfoil hatty, right?
right.
There is an AIM team, right? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Do this.
Wait for it. But
Okay.
it's not advanced idea mechanics. It's Avengers idea mechanics. And basically what happens is someone did a hostile takeover of AIM and then kicked all the crazy people out, and it became like an Avengers team. And it was called, the comic books was called Avengers United. So, and if they did that, and they did another like AIM team like that, it would be at the top of the roster filter. So that would be over the top. Like I said, very tinfoil hatty.
I feel like you work at an AIM lab, like Marvel's real life. You work at an AIM lab, and you were put in this show to try to push your propaganda of AIM onto people.
No, hold on. But you missed what I said. I said
no.
advanced idea mechanics.
No, I know. Yeah, I got exactly what you said, but you're like still the only person I know that consistently brings up AIM with things. So I like any mention of them whatsoever. I feel like this is a thing. I feel like I'm onto something.
Maybe.
Like, you would be one of the crazy people in the lab that they would probably kick out, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that it's just, given what we've seen so far, I think a big raid team is coming, and I think that they're going to have to deliver on it. At least I would certainly hope so after Wakanda. So, and we've just had an arena team, a huge arena team. So yeah, I think it's coming. Fantastic Four is the only group that doesn't have a movie coming out anytime super soon that we know of, at least. And it needs to be a big team, I feel like, to justify it being really good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stay firm that I think it's that.
It could very well be.
I actually didn't even know that Casino mentioned anything.
Yeah, so that is so I don't know, and it could just been all bullshit for all I know. But
yeah,
I don't know. So but yeah, the Fantastic Four do make sense there. Hold on a second. I'm typing this out to you. Why I think you're right. about where I think that could be a possibility.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after because that's an interesting conversation that I didn't know about.
Yeah, there's I'll just send you the link, and then you can read this. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a new team coming. It could be related to the Eternals.
I was thinking that too, but I think that they're going to wait for the Eternal movie to do that, and that's going to be a while. Then I think we'll certainly see a raid team before then.
Yeah, maybe we'll see, but they got to do something.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Actually, that's all we've got time for today.
Oh, kaboom!
So, Hebrew, let's give the paying customers, though, what they really came for. We want you to let everybody know what you're farming.
Yeah, so I am still trying to get that one stupid piece for Minerva. So hopefully I will have that soon. I'm probably going to start core refreshing it, even though I don't have a huge amount of cores coming in. But yeah, I'll probably do it just because I'm usually a very patient person, but I'm getting tired of waiting for that. So that, and after that, yeah, just mostly I'm still kind of farming Hand Assassin and Loki up a bit.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have it by the time that comes back. I might even be able to get them to 7 stars depending on how long it takes. So we'll see.
September.
But they are a daily farm. Okay, yeah. So we'll see. Depends on how the daily farm goes. Other than that, saving up all of my resources for that raid team, seeing what comes. So, yeah, that's it for me. What about you?
It may be a raid team. I don't know, but maybe.
I think it has to be a team.
For me, I still fear the darkness, but I'm down to my last 2. Well, I mean, I still need Minerva ultimately, and I will be working on her, but I don't even have her unique yet. So I've got, that moth just did a flyby. So I've got the uniques on both Star-Lord and Groot. So, it's whoever crosses that finish line first. So I'm farming the purple gear I need to finish Groot for gear 13, but I'm also, farming War Store when I can to get the orange spiky balls and refreshing the supply store for the orange spiky balls. The problem is I am now completely out of quarters, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Other than that, farming wise, I'm hitting. I hit Vision every day, I hit Groot every day, I hit Loki every day, I hit Hand Assassin every day, and I hit Nobu every day. So I'll have her at 6 star. Hand Assassin is the only one right now on my roster who is not 6 star to get her when that event comes back around. But if I can go ahead and get to 7 star in that time frame, I will do so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other than that, it's really been gear. Just trying to get people over that gear 12 hump or that gear 11 hump into gear 12. So I've got my core team all at gear 12 now, and it's just farming the orange gear that I need. So
Right.
All right, guys. Well, Hebrew, before we head out, was there anything else that you wanted to mention tonight to our lovely studio audience or those listening at home?
Just thanks everyone for listening. Both people that come live and people that are listening later on. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
All the patrons, super special thank you, obviously. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
all right.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thanks for listening to the Ravager Report. You can find us on any and all of your favorite podcast apps or by going directly to our Podbean site at ravagerreport.podbean.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating and a review, as it does help us make the show better for you. You can find us on Twitter at RavagerRepo and join our Discord channel at discord.me/RavagerReport. If you'd like to help support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/RavagerReport, where we have subscriptions starting at $2 going all the way up to $20. You can get such things as early access to the show, roster reviews, as well as sponsor a segment. Finally, we do want to send a great big shout out to all of our listeners and patrons for their continued support. And until next time, keep fighting, true believers.